Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Campea, and this is a companion video. What are companion videos? Well, I'm awfully glad that you asked. See, every day on the John Campea Show, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we save time for some live questions. But we don't always have time to get around to all the live questions that get sent in. But I want to make sure that if you sent in one of those questions, they get answered properly in a video. So I gather up those unused questions and we address them here on companion videos. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. We're going to start taking these questions here. We're getting caught up now on the questions that came in on Tuesday, September the 3rd, here on the John Campea Show. That was this morning. These are the questions we didn't have time to get around to, so let's start getting caught up here. All right, the first one we're going to start getting caught up on comes to us from Rasmus Jansson, who writes, do you have a fun movie-going story from a parent? I'm Swedish, and my dad went to the U.S. in 1979 and saw Alien. He was scared out of his mind by the film and amazed at the size of the American cinema. You know what? I don't. I really don't. I don't have my mom and dad. Like, it's funny because my mom is the one who got me into movies. My dad's never been much of a big movie guy. So there's that. But honestly, I don't recall my mom or dad ever telling me some movie-going story. I mean, that sounds amazing. Your story from your dad, that sounds amazing. You know, going to a different country, seeing something on a different kind of theater, and especially a movie like Alien, what a one to knock out of the park with. That's amazing. But you know what? Now that you bring it up, I've never really thought about it, but no, I never got a big movie-going story from my mom or dad, actually. And you know what? I'm glad you brought it up, because now the next time I see them, I'm going to ask them for one. I'm going to ask my mom or dad for a big movie-going story, because I know they must have gone to the theater sometime. So I'll get a story from them. Thanks for bringing that up, Rasmus. I appreciate that. Putting that on my radar. Okay. Booster is the name. Just sends in a super chat. Thank you, Booster. Appreciate that, man. Froygon Jin writes, just saw the Black Widow poster. It's about time they made something that looks like it could be the cover of a comic book. Yeah, I don't know that that's important, because it's not a comic book. It's a movie. So I don't know if it's that important. I thought the Black Widow poster looks okay. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem. I have no problem with the Black Widow poster. I don't. But I'm also not particularly thrilled with it. I also don't see any particular need, but I'm also not against. I'm right down the middle. I don't see the need for, but I'm also not against that a comic book movie poster look like a comic book. Who does that serve? You want to make the best poster possible that appeals, because remember, a poster is a piece of marketing. So you need your marketing to appeal to the widest audience possible. And while, a poster that looks like a comic book cover will appeal to a segment of us, I don't know that it would appeal to everybody. I don't know that it would have the widest appeal, but I'm not against the idea if they come up with a way to do it. I just got to say, the Black Widow poster, I got to say, I'm not over the moon about, but then again, you know my opinion about posters. They don't matter. They don't matter, except as a piece of marketing. A great poster does not make the movie any better. A terrible poster doesn't make the movie any worse. Poster's a poster. It's a totally separate thing. So, yeah, whatever. Let's see. Linux MLG writes, have you seen the Peanut Butter Falcon yet? This is about 5 times people have asked me in the last 2 days. I have Shia LaBeouf as my front runner for Best Actor. Again, not one I've seen yet. I'm probably not going to see it until it gets out on home streaming at this point. But who knows, if an opportunity avails itself, I just might. But you're not alone, Linux. I've been having a number of people tell me who did have a chance to see the Peanut Butter Falcon that they love it. No surprise that Shia LaBeouf is great in it. He's a great actor. He may be a few cookies short of a full package, but he is a tremendously gifted actor. So no surprise there. So I'm looking forward to checking out when I get a chance. Austin Wayne Scott writes, one of the few things I loved about Age of Ultron was the score, especially Danny Elfman's contribution. I'd love if he did another MCU score. I gotta admit, I've always said, and I still believe, one of the rare areas that I think the DC movies have done, or specifically the DCEU movies, have done a better job than the MCU movies, is in the area of score. I've just found in the DCEU movies, the score have been more memorable. They've been a little bit more epic in scale, all that kind of stuff. Now, with Avengers, I've never even liked the Avengers theme all that much. Now, the Avengers theme has come to mean more because it's been with us throughout this run of the MCU. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. Now when we hear that, it elicits all the emotions of all the previous films. But I remember the first time I heard the Avengers theme, I thought it's all right. It's all right. There's certainly some good score moments in Endgame. Absolutely there are. But I've always kind of felt the DCU always did a little bit better. But I like the score in Age of Ultron. I got to tell you, every time I watch that movie, I like it a little bit more. I really do. Gary Allegra writes, John, I second Until Dawn PS4, fave of all-time game. I'm going to have to try it. Because I'm at the point with my PS4 where I'm completely frustrated. I'm ready to get rid of it. But maybe I should give it another chance, and maybe that's the game to do it. So, on my radar. Mr. 47 writes, both Xbox One and PS4 support mouse and keyboard. Yeah, I got to look into see how to actually do that, because that could be the solution to a big thing for me. Suthius writes, hey, Mr. C, 2 minutes is like 20 minutes for us Asians. I don't know what you mean by that, but I'll run that by my wife and see, who is Asian, and see if she knows what you're talking about. Nick writes, John, I guarantee you'll love Until Dawn. Well, I'm looking forward to giving it a shot. Nick, thank you for putting it on my radar. Then Nick also follows up and writes, also, check out Man of Medan on PS4. Can't go wrong. Oh, okay, that's not one I've ever even heard of. But I'll tell you what, let me get started on Until Dawn and see how that one works for me. Let me get that one under my belt first, and then we'll see how the other ones do. All right, Mr. 47 writes, where are we at here? A couple more games to try are A Way Out, a cinematic coupe, and Experience, a cinematic coup, and Experience, and the Quantic Dream Collection, all games for movie lovers. All right, I'll put those again. Let me see if I can get through Until Dawn, because I think Until Dawn is going to be the last straw for me. If I can't get into the PS4 playing that, I think then I'm going to get rid of the PS4. But who knows? Maybe this one will work out for you or for me. Aaron McDonough writes, John, have you watched The Dark Crystal yet? Today, over my lunch, I watched the first episode of Dark Crystal. I'm going to tell you, I'm not hooked yet. I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it, but I haven't seen in the first episode, and it's just the first episode. I haven't seen the huge hype that I've been hearing from a lot of people about it. Because I've been hearing from a lot of people, it's the most brilliant thing, it's awesome. And I watched the first episode, and I thought it was solid. Good enough that I'm definitely looking forward to watching episode 2, but I'm not jumping over the moon about it. Then again, I'm not deterred by that because it's just the first episode, and I like the first episode, so I'm starting to get into it, Aaron. Hopefully, probably if I can get to bed early enough, I'll probably pop on one more episode when I get into bed, if I can get to bed early enough tonight, and watch one more episode before tomorrow. So I have started my Dark Crystal Age of Resistance watching sessions now, so let's see how that goes. All right, Suthius writes, started Wu Assassins on Netflix. I've been tempted to check that one out because I've heard decent things about it. A chef is chosen for mystical assassin monk powers. Iko Uwais is the chef. Louis Tan in it, as well as Byron Mann, who was also Yao Fei in Arrow Season 1. Gritty and fantastical. Yeah, I watched the preview for it, and it looks pretty fun. I gotta say, I'm currently trying to get through 3 series. I gotta get through Ballers, I gotta get through Carnival Row, and I gotta get through Dark Crystal. Once I'm through those, I will look for the next show to watch, and it just might be Wu Assassins. Because, again, I watched the preview for it, and I was tempted to start watching it. So, hearing decent things from people, Suthius, on that. So, that might have to be the next one up on my list here. All right. Boosters, the name writes, hey, John, thoughts on the movie The Right Stuff? Oh, with Dennis Quaid, Shepard, Sam Shepard, Glenn. It's been a long time since I watched it. That came out when I was a kid. So it's been a long time since I watched it. And Barbara Hershey's in it too, I believe. I remember liking it, but it's been at least 15 years since I've seen it. Minimum. Minimum 15 years since I've seen it. So I think I remember liking it, but it's been a long time, brother. It's been a long time since I've watched that one. All right. Cody Howard writes, where do we go? There he is. Adding to your idea of booking tickets for A-list and unlimited with friends, how about a friends list so you don't have to put their info in every time? Oh, no. That's completely what I meant by that. So what Cody is talking about is A-list is great. I love it. The one thing I wish you could do differently, because what you can do with A-list right now is I can open my AMC app, say I want to get 5 tickets for a movie, and get tickets for me and my friends, and pick our seats and arrange where our seats are. And it'll ask me, hey, do you want one of these tickets to be for your A-list? And I can go, yes, please, so I don't have to pay for that ticket. Then we just have to pay for the other 4. What it does not allow you to do, though, is book tickets for you and somebody else who also has A-list. So if Ann and I want to go to a movie together and both use our A-lists, we have to synchronize booking our tickets at the exact same time to make sure we get the seats beside each other and ready and order, So heaven help you if you need to do that with 3 or 4 people who have A-list, right? What I think the next step of A-list needs to be is I need to be able to put in Ann's A-list number. And you're right, basically a friends list. But I should be able to put in her AMC number and say, yeah, I want to buy 3 tickets and I want them to be my A-list, the second ticket to be to my friend Ann, who's my wife, my friend Ann's A-list, and the third ticket to be my friend Soul's A-list, because Soul also has A-list. Now, somebody might say, oh, but then you can take advantage of that system and you can just you're just getting 3 free tickets. No, you're not, because for you to use your ticket that you purchased with A-list, you got to show your ID. When I go to AMC and I use my ticket that I got with A-list, I have to show them my ID so they can confirm, yes, John Campea's A-list ticket, you're good to go. So if I order tickets for Soul and Ann, I can't just give them to random people. It's got to be Soul and Ann because they got to be able to show their ID. And so I think that is the next logical, no-brainer step for A-list. It would certainly make my life a lot easier because Ann and I like to book tickets together all the time, but we're constantly having to synchronize it. And okay, are you ready? I'm going to get M23. You get M24. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, order. It's stupid. And that's what you're just trying to do with 2 people. That is a great idea, Cody. It's exactly that's what I meant to say a little bit earlier. Yes, create a friends list so I can say, yeah. So if I got 5 friends that have A-list, and we're ordering 6 tickets and 4 of my friends are going who have A-list. I go, yeah, so there's mine and these 4 friends, attribute to their things. And, if you want to give an additional step of security, I should be able to put in Ann's A-list number and then it should send a request to Ann's AMC app to say, your friend John Campea would like to add your A-list to his friends list. Do you confirm that he's your friend and do you consent to him adding to your A-list? Yes. So there. And then I would do that for her as well. It's a simple thing to do. They should totally do that. It would make a great service even better. And I hope they do that, Cody. I really do. All right. Final question today, and then we are all caught up on our questions. This one comes to us from Juan Amarilas, who writes, The Social Network is amazing, and I hate that many people don't appreciate it because it's a Facebook movie. Lame. Probably seen it around 10 times. I like The Social Network very much. Now, I will say, I don't like it as much as, say, Robert Meyer Burnett does. Robert loves The Social Network. Loves it. And I really like it a lot. The problem with me is, when it comes to Social Network, is that I'm not the biggest Jesse Eisenberg fan. And Andrew Garfield should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor award in that movie. He brought the humanity to that film. He was the heart of that film, in my opinion. But I honestly didn't think Jesse Eisenberg was all that great in it. And I get everybody looks at me when I say it's like, what? Honestly, I didn't. I didn't think he was bad in it, but I didn't think he was all that great. I also did not think Justin Timberlake was very good in it. Justin Timberlake? No, I really don't think he was. I think he was all right in a very good movie with a very good script, but I honestly don't think his performance was all that great. But at any rate, all that notwithstanding, I think the movie is really good. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. I enjoy that movie a lot. Robert Meyer Burnett is over the moon about, that is like one of his favorite movies for sure. So you're in pretty good company there, Juan. All right, guys. That'll do it for this installment of companion videos. We're now all caught up on the questions I got through earlier. Special thanks to all you guys who sent in those questions, not just because you gave us fun things to talk about, but also because you supported the channel while you were doing it, and I thank you for that. Don't forget, guys, the John Campea Show returns again tomorrow with me, Chris Carr, and of course, the aforementioned, the wonderful Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. Make sure you guys come back and join us then. That'll do it for me for now, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. My name's John Campea, and until next time, bye-bye.